Hey y'all, I got some questions for you. Are you depressed? Do you have anxiety that maybe you're struggling with? Does your job make you want to go body slam somebody? Maybe, maybe your wife and you are just getting on each other's nerves. What you need is something to help you through that, something to get those thoughts and those uh, toxic, vibes pointed in a different direction. Am I talking about going to see a therapist? Maybe go anger management courses, prescription drugs, maybe even a safe space? No. Get a project car. So look around on Mugshot Marketplace. Look for a classic that nobody else will touch. Maybe a beater, a cheap beater. And direct all of that negative vibes and the energy and the anger and the anxiety that's built up, and pour your heart and soul into your project car. Does it run? Who cares? Go find some friends that know how to do wrenching and auto mechanics. Ask them to teach you. Maybe join an automotive forum and ask people to show some insight on that. Look up videos on YouTube U. I mean, you can learn a lot of stuff on there. Learn how to turn wrenches and get after it. Does it have a lot of rust? I mean, to the point where you're going to be forced to get a tetanus shot? Yeah, maybe. But who cares? Because all that can be fixed. Learn how to do some body work yourself. Do some sanding, get some prep work done. Even if you don't have the skills to put metal on it, you can get it prepped as far as you can and then hand it off to somebody that does. Floors have holes in it, you don't want your feet to go through. Man, just screw some sheet metal down on the floors. Make it solid enough that you can move forward on your project. Does it leak fluids like oil and coolant to the point that EPA is probably investigating you? Yeah, maybe, but again, refer to Exhibit A and repeat those steps. Now you're saying, I don't have money for a project car. Well, that may be true. You know what, I don't run on a big budget myself either. Hell, I got 3 of them. But if you're willing to learn, to do a lot of stuff yourself, like mechanic work, turn wrenches, sanding, replacing parts on cars, learning how those components work, how they go together, you'd be surprised how much that you can accomplish on such a small budget, because a lot of the times with the prices of the projects on these cars at shops, I mean, a lot of it is labor, so if you could take care of a lot of that labor yourself, then you're going to knock a lot of expenses down. I mean, think about it. How much money would you be dumping into seeing a therapist for 6, 8, 10 weeks, months, years, anger management courses, or courses that make you feel, how to be a better person? What are you going to be left with, with prescription drugs and the copays? You're going to be left maybe more confused than when you walked in there. Maybe not. You might have some insight. Maybe you walk away not really being any better than what you were when you walked in those courses, but maybe not. Or you could just end up spaced out. If you could direct all that funds, time and attention to trying to get a pile of heat back into running condition, something that you could get out there and enjoy, you could say, I did that. That's something that you could be proud of. You'll be left with something that's going to last a lot longer than what you take away from those courses. All right, so how are you going to accomplish this? You're going to lower your standards. Stop pushing, thinking that you've got a big picture here that you've got to accomplish like a show quality car. No, what you want to do is make small milestones. Start chipping away at it. Get the car reliable, get it running, knock out all the major things that make it either structurally or mechanically safe, and then what you do from there is you'll eventually start making that progress, seeing the progress, and as you see the progress on the car, it starts coming together, you're going to push yourself even harder to accomplish the goals to get the car on the road. And then you get the car on the road. Now you're out driving it, you're enjoying it. Maybe you start taking it to some car shows. Now you're meeting some new friends, making new friends, you're networking, you're getting inspirations. And then get a second project car because you just can't stop at one. See, this is your backup plan. What if you hit a brick wall on your first project car? Maybe you can't find parts, or a resource has dried up or you got to wait a long time. Well, now you're stuck. Backup plan. Project cars number 2, you can start fresh on this. And then you can apply some of the stuff that you've learned on the first one, maybe even some mistakes. Learn from those, and now you're going to go back and improve and do things better with this. See, my project cars, I would say that they probably represent more than just my personality, my interest. They express the inability for me to be able to save money. My financial illiteracy is best expressed through my project cars. Now, will you have arguments with your wife about the time and money that you're spending on your project car? Most likely. Will you have friends just throw their hands up in the air that don't understand what you're doing, the motivation, the reason, and shake their heads at you? Yeah. Are you going to push bills aside and make late payments just to get auto parts in that you cannot afford? Oh, absolutely. But you know what? You ain't depressed no more. You ain't angry no more because you don't have time. You are too busy trying to fix the problems that this rolling headache has caused you. Actually, you're really kind of spending the time trying to get all the problems fixed so you can keep your wife and your neighbors from diving off the cliff at you over the bad decision that you have made. But your tenacity and your fortuitous pays off. And when it's all said and done and the fruits of your labor has been realized, now your project car looks something like this. Now you're driving something cool. You're not blending in with the rest. You're actually even now part of a counterculture. You might even say that you're helping preserve automotive history. Is your car always going to get you from point A to point B? No, it's not. It's going to leave you on the side of the road occasionally. In the beginning, a lot. But it might even leave you in the parking lot if you're lucky. However, you have the upper hand now, because unlike others driving cars nowadays, you can actually work on this or that or that. And you have 7 out of 10 times the chance of being able to get it up and running, if nothing else, just good enough to get it home. There's even going to be times that you're going to want to light it on fire and just walk away. But don't, because now you're applying those new skill sets that you've learned from your buddies, from the automotive forums, from YouTube U, and you're now applying that to the repairs, the maintenance, and heck, even the restoration of your previous project car. You have made the effort, gone through the ambition and you have the tenacity to now bring your car up to a reliable and beautiful machine that you could be proud of. And now you're over the depression. You are no longer angry, and you no longer have the anxiety. You're always going to have a little stress in your life, but you've now learned a whole new skill set, a whole new passion. You've got a new hobby now, and new friends, or current friends who have now been exposed to the hobby and your interest. And you get to come home to that now and look forward to that, making all the other BS that you go through on a daily basis worth it. Because now, want to go out to dinner on a weekend night or a weeknight, go car show, go out cruising, go out with the family. You now have a cool car that you could take the family and friends out and go meet people And they're just going to come up to you. Gas stations, parking lots, in grocery stores, sometimes go and watch sunset. It opens a whole new social world for you as people will come up to you, start conversations about your car because they relate, because they had one, their grandparents had one, their mother had one, and they'll share memories and stories that otherwise you would have never heard, you'd have never met these people, you'd have just passed by them. So what did we learn today? If you have depression and you feel like you're losing all hope, you need a project car. If you have anxiety that you can't seem to get past, you need a project car. If you're dealing with anger management issues and you're giving off toxic vibes, you need a project car. So just remember the truth, the gospel according to Motor Trend. Don't get it right. Just get it running. Get out there and enjoy it. Now, y'all get out there and do some burnouts, and y'all have a blessed day.